Ladies and gentlemen, this is hilarious. Absolutely hilarious and very interesting. By the way, check out my latest in H.A. Goodman's other channel. It's literally called H.A. Goodman's other channel. Check that out. It's below in the pinned comment, and it's a very, very, very important segment. That's where I'm unfiltered, uncensored, and completely raw. It's my alter ego, H.A. Badman. But this is the Hill. Scaramucci assembling team of former cabinet members to speak out against Trump. Before you hear my spiel, I'm going to read this because it's absolutely hilarious. And I'll give you my spiel in a second. But here, this is August 19th, 2019. Former White House Communications Director Anthony Scaramucci said on Monday that he's assembling a team of former cabinet members to speak out against President Trump in an effort to find a Republican challenger to the president in 2020. Quote, I'm in the process of putting together a team of people that feel the exact same way that I do. This is not a never Trump situation. This is not just a screeching rhetoric. This is, okay, the guy's unstable. Everyone inside knows it. Everyone outside knows it. Let's see if we can find a viable alternative. Scaramucci said on Monday on CNN's New Day. Moreover, I've got to get some of these former cabinet officials in unity to speak up about it. Scaramucci would not reveal names of former officials that he said feel that Trump is unstable, but he said he expects more to come out publicly in upcoming months. Now, the interesting thing is, number one, did you feel that he was unstable before you took the job in the Trump administration, or after? Because if it's after, then you're pulling the same type of stunt we've seen from Michael Avenatti and other people. They just devote their lives to going after Trump. Al Franken. I mean, there's a litany of people who because of karma, a guardian angel around Trump, or a team of guardian angels around Trump. You can list Al Franken, Jesse Smollett. Now you have Andrew McCabe was under criminal investigation. James Baker, the FBI top legal counsel, is under criminal investigation. Eric Schneiderman, the New York Attorney General, who thought he was some kind of superhero in the sack. He was accused allegedly of a whole bunch of crazy things. And then, I mean, you just have, there's a litany of people I just named. You can also, there's a whole list of people. From Andrew McCabe, who was fired from the FBI and under criminal investigation. James Baker, the top legal counsel, under criminal investigation. Stormy D, who, in her quest to take down Trump, utilized the services of Michael Avenatti, who now potentially faces decades in prison. Then you have, like I said, Eric Schneiderman, Al Franken, Jesse Smollett, Kathy Griffin, who had a severed head of the president and apparently now, can't get as much work as she could prior. What else? Who else? I mean, I know I'm missing a whole lot of people, but when you go up against President Trump and you devote your life to trying to, Fredo. Fredo at CNN. Now Don Lemon is being sued. I mean, we can go on forever. Ratings at CNN are at an all-time low. Let's see, what else? I mean, my God, there's so many people who... Mueller, for example, who couldn't even remember. I mean, his reputation is completely in shatters. He allegedly didn't know who Glenn Simpson and Fusion GPS were. The two most important people in the whole fabricated probe on Trump-Russia, because they were the ones who were outsourced by Clinton to create a Steele dossier. And then today, she's totally not running, which she of course is. Clinton is running in 2020 because she said, she made some kind of remark like, half of the people in this survey represent that, the people who were indicted in your administration. No, they were indicted because of Peter Strzok and corrupt intelligence officials who utilized Clinton's Steele dossier. But again, I'm veering off track like I usually do. Anthony Scaramucci wanted to work with Trump. He was fired unceremoniously or let go, or he's no longer there. And now there's bad blood between the two. But the thing is, Scaramucci is playing a game that Trump knows. Trump created this game. Trump is a master at manipulating the media. Okay, it doesn't work out. It doesn't work out for anyone who goes up against Trump because, number one, the economy is doing well. You can't be an unstable person if the economy is doing well. You can't be an unstable person if you're the first president to step foot in North Korea. You can't be an unstable person if you sign the First Step Act, criminal justice reform legislation. So there's a lot of things that are going on. You can't be an unstable person if you're restructuring trade deals to ensure that the United States doesn't have to deal with tremendous trade imbalances. But the knock on Trump, or the propaganda spin, is, the 25th Amendment, he's unstable. Well, everyone's unstable according to the CNN, New York Times, Washington Post type of liberal mentality. Everyone is unstable. Everyone is not. If you like Trump and you don't think that he is like this threat to humanity, then you're not. You don't realize that, oh my God, he's unstable. It's actually the Trump derangement syndrome people who call everyone unstable, and they're the ones who fabricated. They're the ones who believe that Trump worked with Putin to inform the country that Bernie Sanders was cheated. And so now Scaramucci wants to assemble a whole bunch of people within Trump's administration. He knows very well that there's over a 90% approval rating within the Republican Party for President Trump. He also probably knows that there's a whole bunch of people who try to go up against Trump and utilize the media only to fail miserably. So I don't know what his long-term plan is, but it's not going to work out. It's not going to work. Oh, Omarosa is another person who tried to utilize the media and it didn't work out. Okay, what happens is the Democratic Party and liberals on Twitter and people who have Trump derangement syndrome latch on to any former Republican or former, whether it's Omarosa or Scaramucci, or they'll latch on to any person that says, oh my God, I'm a conservative, but Trump is just too much for me. And they'll try to milk that person for every ounce of hate and contempt they have for Trump, and then they discard the person. And so the person, whether it's Avenatti or Jesse Smollett or Al Franken or Eric Schneiderman or Andrew McCabe or Omarosa or Kathy Griffin. Okay, so finally there's a litany of people that I can kind of list. They go up against Trump. They utilize the media hysteria and zeitgeist against Trump. They ignore the fact that you can't, the unhinged people, the people who are deranged or delusional, it's not Trump supporters, and it's certainly not President Trump himself. It's the people who can't stand Trump's personality. Trump's personality is not out of the ordinary in terms of American culture. Why? Because he's been in the spotlight for 30 plus years. People enjoyed his personality on The Apprentice. He's known for firing people. His brash personality on Twitter is nothing compared to the vile, just anger and just pathetic, maniacal, this kind of derangement that everyone is the worst example of humanity if you disagree with democratic politics. I can't even say the word because the algorithm won't let me. So he's on CNN, and I mean, here you have Chris Cuomo, who will forever be known as Fredo. Sorry about that. I need to put that a vibrator, or I need to put that on vibrate. The phone, that is. But anyway, you have Chris Cuomo, who will forever be known as Fredo. His colleague is being sued for something pretty disgusting. You have a whole bunch of people who, you just have a whole bunch of people who have devoted their life. So I don't know what it's kind of funny too, because this is Trump's ball game. You're playing Trump's game. So it's probably not going to work out. If this guy has any skeletons in his closet at all, his foray into this kind of cauldron of Trump dislike or contempt will very likely turn out badly or not in a way he's expecting. So I just thought, he's a mental wreck. We don't want him around. So we didn't want him around. The fake news put him on like he was my buddy, Trump tweeted. Trump also tweeted that there's great cohesion inside the Republican Party. Look, I think that Republicans who focus on Trump's personality are doing themselves a disservice. Because if you focus on Trump's personality, Hillary Clinton, for example, who's going to run in 2020, isn't exactly the most amiable person. Ask the people of Libya. Ask they say Trump lies. She's the original person, from surviving Bosnian sniper fire to deleting yoga emails to more egregious fibs and lies and distortion of the truth. You're talking about people who would assess a person's mental state just from their tweets. That's not how you assess someone's sanity. And so Democrats are the ones who cheat. They cheated Bernie Sanders. They then fabricated a Trump-Russia probe stating that they fabricated a myth that said Trump worked with Russia to inform the country that Bernie Sanders was cheated by helping Russia hack the DNC and by spreading Facebook ads. It's the most absurd, stupid thing that you've ever heard in your life. Then they call Trump racist when they're the ones who engage in just trying to cover up and erase history when it comes to the racism that both Clintons exhibited. And it's unbelievable. You have mass incarceration, you have prison reform legislation with Trump. But just here, unemployment. And now they're like, well, you know what? There's going to be a recession. So they're like trying to ramp up. They're trying to ramp up this belief that there's going to be a recession. May 3rd, 2019, just a couple months ago, U.S. unemployment fell to 3.6%, lowest since 1969. You have a 50-year low in unemployment. So how on earth is this guy unstable or unhinged? Twitter is not reality. He's not racist. If you want to talk about racist statements, calling black youth super predators like Clinton did is far worse than anything Trump has ever said. They have to engage in hyperbole. They have to make Trump seem like he's this monster, whereas they just shrug their shoulders when Obama, Clinton, and Biden helped destroy Libya with a failed NATO intervention. And they just say, gosh, it was a well-meaning attempt at doing what? I don't know. When President Obama, drank Flint water in a shameful attempt at trying to deceive people that their contaminated water was okay to drink. So unemployment rate, it's a 3.6%, lowest since 1969. Or it's around 3.6%. That was on May 3rd. Let's say Latino unemployment rate Hispanic unemployment rate sets a new record low in April. Okay, May. Hispanic unemployment rate drops to all-time low. How does that... So he's presiding over an economy. He owns this economy. You can't say President Obama gave him a 3-year head start in terms of an economy. This is his 3rd year in office, going into his 4th year, re-election year. Okay, you can't say that President Obama would have engaged, or Clinton would have engaged in tax cuts, or trade deals, or tariffs. So how is it that tax cuts, these tariffs and tax cuts, which were said to supposedly tank the economy, according to Democrats, now you see the economy still doing well, extremely well, and that's with a very tough negotiations with China at the moment. And even American farmers who are hit by this are still like, yes, someone has to do this. There's someone with the political will who has to do this. So, I mean, how is this an unhinged? How do you become the first president to start a peace process between North and South Korea if you're unhinged? How do you become a president who signs criminal justice reform legislation, or a president who says he wants to bring home Americans from Afghanistan? These are things that are good things that President Trump has done. So Scaramucci is playing a dangerous game, a dangerous political and media game. Okay? He doesn't have friends. He doesn't really have people who support him at all on the left. Even on Twitter, I see like the Twitter feed. I'm not on Twitter because it's like, it's a venue. It's like Tron. It's like if you went into the actual video game Tron, like the movie, except made for unhinged, deranged liberals. So like I said on H.A. Goodman's other channel, delete Facebook and Twitter. It's going to help your life. Trust H.A. Goodman. If you don't trust H.A. Goodman, trust H.A. Badman on H.A. Goodman's other channel below in the pinned comment. Check out the latest segment. But Scaramucci assembles team of former cabinet members to speak out against Trump. I just find this so hilarious and pathetic. I don't see how this helps Scaramucci at all. And if anything, if the guy has any skeletons in his closet, or if the guy engages in a kind of, some, unexpected type of behavior. Like, we didn't know that Nike would accuse Michael Avenatti of extortion. That's what happens, though. If Scaramucci's on, CNN, MSNBC, like, all of these people were, as Al Franken, or, all the people I named, it didn't even help Omarosa. Because the left, okay, even the neoliberals have a purity test. Well, you were working for Trump. So, and also, this is sour grapes because he's no longer working for Trump. And so the thing is, it's like Trump supporters are not going to back Scaramucci. The only people who will are like never Trumpers who are like the Max Boot, Bill Kristol type crowd. And nobody likes them. Nobody in the Republican Party or the Democratic Party like them. They're in their own little bubble where they like even the biggest, the neoliberals that are almost Republicans but not really, who are Democrats, kind of respect them just because they speak out against Trump. No, for no other reason other than that. You should see the way you just do a Google search on how Democrats treated John McCain in 2008. You want to talk about they engaged in more disrespectful behavior than Trump. They fabricated or brought up or attacked McCain in every way possible, and they didn't care in 2008. And I'm talking about the like websites and blogs and journalists who now pretend that Trump is so disrespectful to John McCain. They were even more disrespectful in 2008. They don't have a value system. That's why when it's working with Russia, they don't care if they work with Russia to get a Steele dossier. And they say, well, these are Russian. The whole thing with the Steele dossier was that it was purchased by Clinton, but they said it was accurate because they had Russian sources vouch for all the allegations. They have no value system. If you had a value system, working with Russia is bad. So you wouldn't work with the Clinton, you wouldn't work with the Steele dossier, and therefore you would also investigate Clinton for even purchasing the Steele dossier. But that's not their value system. The value system is attain political power and influence by any means necessary. And then when you want to kind of inject yourself into this political scrum, this political jungle or whatever you want to call it, it's not going to work out well. Trump is going to clown them so hard. So Scaramucci is going to come out, and there's going to be certain people who, let's just say he finds people who are disgruntled in the Trump administration. Well, for example, they signed confidentiality agreements. Okay, so then, or they'll find some, maybe, these people were, I don't know, yeah. Who knows? Who knows what could happen? But if you look at the history of people trying to go up against Trump simply to be spiteful, it always backfires. It doesn't work out. So whether there's a confidentiality agreement they break because they work in the White House, or they find out that they're lying, who knows? Who knows? Oh, there's a Facebook post that one of them wrote that's embarrassing. Or you never know. Because when you enter this arena where it's just focused on Trump derangement syndrome, you don't get rewarded. The left does not reward. There are Democrats, hardcore Democrats, who are arguing with Bernie Sanders supporters, and they're literally saying, bend the knee. I read that the other day, and I found it not just shocking. I knew that that's the way the Democrats think of anyone to the left of them. And I am certainly no longer there. I'm a Trump supporter. But that's one of the reasons they will lose every presidential election from here on out. Democrats have contempt for people to the left and to the right of them. Complete contempt. And the only time they'll utilize people to the left or to the right of them, whether it's a Scaramucci or whether it's a Bernie Sanders, is to manipulate them or to utilize their allegiance, their momentary allegiance, or their perceived allegiance or whatever, to just get Trump. And when they're done, they'll discard them. And so, I just don't get it. Give me your thoughts below. Check out H.A. Goodman's other channel. I find it so... This is just... Trump's going to clown this guy so hard. And he's going to clown... It's only going to help Trump. It's only going to help Trump because then President Trump has a chance to say, you know what, this person stunk and this person was horrible, and thank God Scaramucci helped me because you know what, I couldn't get this guy or this woman out of here fast enough. It's hilarious. Look, the funniest person, one of the funniest comedians in America today is President Trump. Like, I love comedy, but old school comedy. And I can count on my hand, like, the great comedians of the past 10 years. Cat Williams being the best comedian in the past 10 years by far. I put him in, like, up there with, Dave Chappelle and Richard Pryor and all, the greats. But other than that, I also like maybe a couple other people. But the average comedian is not funny today. Like, I'll watch the average millennial comedian. I'm like, okay, I'm not laughing at all. Nothing. There's nothing funny about this. With Trump, I'm laughing. And I'm not just laughing. It's like hilarious laughter. Side-splitting laughter. Because the way he clowns these people, they're so vile and they have such contempt for him, but then yet they're such vile hypocrites that it's kind of funny how he plays them. And at the end of the day, look, Scaramucci is playing he's trying to get media attention on himself, but it's not going to work out. It's only going to help Trump, and the chances are it'll hurt him. Give me your thoughts below. If you want to support my voice, my Patreon is below, especially for H.A. Goodman's other channel where my alter ego comes in. H.A. Goodman's other channel. Get it to 10,000 subs. It's already at 8,000 subs in like a week. And, I'm very grateful. And I get to, say things. Look, a lot of it is not going to be monetized on H.A. Goodman's other channel because I'm completely raw and unfiltered. But it's needed because I get to speak about things I can't speak about here. And a lot of people have said that they like H.A. Goodman's other channel even more than my main channel. So give me your thoughts below. Share this segment everywhere. And take a look and subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe to H.A. Goodman's other channel right this second. It is below, and you have a whole bunch of segments below in the pinned comments. The pinned comment. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. Give me your thoughts. I mean, what do you think about what's taking place, and how do you think this will end for Scaramucci, who didn't notice? The thing with Trump is that he's never unhinged when you're working for him. He's only unhinged. It's really like a bad relationship. Like Trump has these these hilarious relationships, romantic. It's almost like a romantic relationship. Like you have a relationship with somebody, and everything's so great. You know what? You might marry the person, and suddenly the couple breaks up, and they hate each other, and oh my god, what did I see in that person? But it doesn't work because he can't. They're trying to say Trump is unhinged, but who's the unhinged person? You worked for the guy. And then you were let go, and then suddenly he's not stable. But he was stable when you wanted to work with him. But you're expecting the country to believe that you truly feel he's unstable. Give me your thoughts below, because he had the same tweets even before Scaramucci. It's like, if Twitter is the evaluation of Trump's mental health, he had the same tweets, even worse, before Scaramucci was hired by Trump. So give me your thoughts below. Thank you so very, very much.